assembled to the drive hub.
Okay.
So you set this is a sub-assembly that is sold. You set this in here. Now it's in there. We have 2 screws. That hold the bearing in.
Yeah, metric, right?
Metric. And we take a keeper just as a safety precaution. That is not setting just right. That's all on there. So the next operation is we need to get the pulley onto the drive hub, which we have to go over to another bench. With the pulley over here and put the 4 screws in. But where this one is already assembled in here, we have a reverse fixture,
Okay.
which we set the pulley into and then set it over the drive hub.
Okay.
What we do here is take one of our sticky back washers, put it on the back side here. Peel off the coating. And we have the pulley and washer. Set this over so that we can see the 4 holes inside here, and we line them up over the drive hub. Then what I like to do is poke a hole through that washer so that I make sure some of the Loctite gets down into the threads. And we take 4 screws, a little Loctite, tight these to make sure they're tight. You don't want to go too tight because you'll break the threads off or the screw off. I've done that many times.
So you use the fixture because that lines this up with a spline.
That way all tractors are built exactly the same.
Okay.
If you didn't do that, your timing would not
Yep,
be right
it wouldn't.
in all the machines.
Okay.
And that's one of the hardest things we have to try to explain to people in the field, because we use a fixture and they don't have the fixture in the field. I don't know how they line them up so they're exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah, left to right is kind of important that they're
Right. So that portion, put it on the same fixture that we use for the 800 series. And we put the block on. 4 screws. Then we have the additional block that goes on with 2 screws. Then we take the belt, which is exactly the same as the 800 belt, except it's got twice as many pins on it, one dichromed. This goes over. We have a Barron spacer that sets on top of here. And this is the idler, the smaller side down. This is where the spacer will fit into. Like so. Put the screw through. Put the flat washer, lock washer, nut, then we have a different spacer which fits between the teeth of the pulley, then you turn it in to line up with the teeth of the pulley, and that's how you space
Okay.
for the belt. Holding that, you tighten the screw. Just remove this. That's the assembly of that portion.
Okay.
Now we take the slide plate. What I like to do is sometimes from the manufacturing of these have collapsed. I stretch this out a little bit, just to make sure they'll go over the pin. And you set this over the belt. On this one, we do not use the square nut. We use the same small screw. And we got these, I don't know what they call them, Loctite nuts.
Little nylon.
Yeah,
Yep.
inserted. And you put this in here. And you can't get in there with a wrench, so we have this special tool that holds that nut while we're tightening it.
Is there a reason you wouldn't use the square nuts on that?
They didn't want them.
Ah,
Wanted to be different, I guess. Same thing here. And then down this end, you have to use a little bit longer screw with the same nut. And the nut fits into the slot underneath this block. So you don't need the tool down here. You just want to make sure that this clearance around all these pins, and this looks pretty good. And it's turning freely. So that's that portion. Now we got to build the pressure plate. This next operation, I cannot explain why, but it's the only way I can get it to work.
Okay.
And what I have to do is I have to give this a little bit of a bend. Like this. Why, I don't know. Unless it has to do with when you put the spring on it, that there's more pressure on one end than there is on the other end.
Okay.
But once you tighten this down, it will be flat.
Okay. So you're bending it.
I'm bending it. I'm hoping I got it enough. And you have to be careful because this is a weak area here. You don't want to bend it too much.
Okay.
It's all feel. But that, as you can see, that is
Got a little
kind of a
bow.
little bow on it.
Okay.
In fact, yesterday I was building a couple of these, and I tried to do it without bending it. It just won't give me the gap, and it's all to do with the gap
Okay.
afterwards. And we have a different screw. I don't know if yeah, I do. It's a shorter screw because of the height of this.
You just lining up the washer there?
Yes. Oh, there it is. 4 screws, 4 washers. So again, they use a different spring. Does not need to be stretched. The pin is not the same pin, again, because of the height and the
Okay.
thickness of the pressure plate. Problem here. Sometimes these pins do not fit into the hole. In this case, this pin does not. This one does. Let me try this again. One of the problems you would have when we were pressing this pin in, I said it needed to be flush.
Okay.
If it's sticking out, you would not be able to close this.
Okay.
Use the same spring. I mean the same, yeah, spring. That didn't work. Spring is on there. and this is rubbing. So this pressure strip